Water. Hard drive. One of the most complicated topics to teach when it comes to geography and computer applications technology. But then what if I told you I have a better solution for you?
The 21st century is an era defined by rapid technological advancement, compelling the South African schooling system to explore different approaches to enhance learner engagement and learning process. Among these approaches, virtual and augmented reality stand out to be the most effective for their ability to create immersive and interactive learning environments, making complex concepts more engaging and accessible to learners. This essay will discuss how virtual and augmented reality (VAR) technologies can be successfully integrated into STEM education, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics to support inquiry-based learning pedagogies and experiential learning environments in the South African classrooms. What is virtual reality and what is augmented reality? Virtual reality is a technology that generates a simulated environment through a computer and emits electronic signals, allowing participants to immerse themselves in it and experience perceptions such as vision, hearing, and touch, while also supporting human-computer interaction. This combines virtual and reality through a same technology. Edward Stewart et al. 2016 defined augmented reality as an indirect or direct live view of a physical or real-world environment whose elements are enhanced by computer-generated sensor input. Augmented reality is divided into four, namely market-based augmented reality, location-based augmented reality, dynamic augmentation, and complex augmentation.
With regards to the experiential learning cycle by Kolb, augmented reality also has the potential to make concrete concepts more abstract and simpler to comprehend for learners. For example, in a CAD classroom, learners can use augmented reality applications to visualize and interact with the internal components of a hard drive, rather than just seeing a diagram in a textbook. Learners can use augmented reality to explore a 3D model of a hard drive, identifying parts like the platter and the read and write head. They can observe how data is written from the disk, deepening their understanding of how storage devices operate. This hands-on interactive experience aligns with the principles of experiential learning, which is key aspect of inquiry-based learning, as it encourages learners to actively explore and question the functioning of hardware devices. This activity probes creativity, which is one of the important forces pre-mentioned by our South African CAPS document. In addition, Sirakaya and Al-Sanak Sirakaya 2022 stated categorically that virtual and augmented reality has the potential to create new embodied learning scenarios. For instance, learners can use virtual reality to simulate a chemical reaction safely, or utilize augmented reality to visualize a 3D molecular structure in a chemistry classroom. This allows learners to be more hands-on in the subject matter. Moreover, according to research done in 3D interactive learning environments, findings have shown that the interactive nature of augmented reality contributes to better retention of knowledge as it engages learners actively in the learning process. By learning through direct interaction, learners gain motivation to apply scientific knowledge and concept into real-life contexts. It is important that we take into consideration the inequalities that exist in the South African basic education schooling system. Hence, the high cost and accessibility issues leads to schools that are under-resourced not being able to afford hardware tools such as actuators, headsets, and powerful computers to run virtual reality. Secondly, operating virtual reality requires schools to have a responsive and educated technical support system to help with hardware malfunctions, software bugs, and setup problems. Hence, without technical support, malfunctions can disrupt the learning process, frustrate learners, and lead to the implementation of virtual and augmented reality to be a time-consuming process. Thirdly, integrating virtual and augmented reality requires that the education system launches a fully supported training session for teachers already in the field. The training must also successfully include the learners. Thus, using virtual and augmented reality can prove to be a very steep learning curve for both teachers and the learners without proper training. This leads to a shift from focusing on the actual content to focusing on figuring out the tool. With regards to TPEC by Mishra and Costa, teachers must be trained to integrate virtual and augmented reality successfully into their pedagogy and content to avoid focusing on the technology and not the actual learning process. Besides the socio-economic issues, virtual reality and augmented reality can also propose health issues such as cyber sickness, headaches, dizziness, or eye strain.